Hi family, so I am back with another video, and I'm so excited because it feels like it's been a while since I uploaded a video. So here's the intro. Welcome to Intimate Conversations with Francis O'Brien, healing one heart at a time. It's a wonderful Sunday as usual. I'm from church and it was amazing. I hope you guys are having a fabulous Sunday. It's nice and quiet. I'm really happy about that. I can actually hear a mother in the background singing with her child, and she's singing some gospel song, and she's asking her child to sing along or to clap along while she sings, which I thought was really, really cute. But yeah, it's been a great week. I thank God. You know, sometimes it has been a trying week, and you know you're fighting certain mindsets. You're fighting old patterns. You know, old kind of feelings and emotions are coming up, and you're thinking, should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? Etc. Etc. But I promised you that I was going to come with a video, a subsequent video to my previous video, which is talking about men not committing and the reasons why men don't commit. So this week we are talking about women and the contributing reasons that they, or rather the contributing factors that make men not commit to women in relationships. So ladies, what is it that we do? What is it that we do that makes these brothers not commit? And today in church the message was nice as usual. It was always a thought-provoking message, and I like how our church, because it's word-based and it's also common sense based, truth be told, because sometimes, you know, some pastors don't really preach common sense, and I'm not bashing, but some things we always blame them on the devil, and it's just sheer common sense, if you ask me. So, he was mentioning quite a few pointers, and I thought, okay, this is really in alignment with my message today. And, some of this is also personal experience. I will never exempt myself and make myself holier than thou. I will share some of the reasons that I also may have displayed during the relationship. And I think if I have done them, then a lot of women out there have also done the same thing. So without further ado, if this is a type of content that you'd like to listen to, please stay tuned, be comfortable. I hope it's not going to be a lengthy video. So grab something to eat, something to drink, call your partner if you think it's appropriate, ladies, or perhaps you want to sit on your own first and then hear what I have to say and digest it, and then see if you can change it, or perhaps you can call your partner to sit alongside you, and then maybe he can say, okay, sweetheart, this is also what you do and I don't really like it. And be mature enough, ladies, that when they do tell you that this is what you do in the relationship, have an open heart. And my purpose is obviously for you to have the best relationship you could possibly have. And the best way you can have a relationship is by being authentic, is by being yourself, and it's by being transparent with each other, specifically in a relationship. So let me get my book of notes. As you guys know, I always have my book of notes. I have a ton of notes, if you can see. So it's quite a few pages that I've written. And I just want us to get into it. So how women contribute to men not committing to them in a relationship. So let's get into it. And point number one, which is the obvious one, I think, is constantly talking about your ex. Now, this is a really bad habit that a lot of us women do. And we do this for a number of reasons. We really do this for a number of reasons. And nothing drains and irritates a man, ladies, when you're constantly babbling about your ex. You know, I remember I was watching Love and Hip Hop, I think Atlanta. And this chick was going through a divorce with her husband, and she had found a new guy. And every time she was with this guy, she would just constantly talk about her ex. And I could see the guy's, eyes rolling, and you could tell his irritation and his annoyance. And I would sit back and think, doesn't this chick realize that she's actually irritating this guy? Is she even aware of his body language as she's talking about her ex? And that's just the thing, ladies. We don't really pay attention to our to our current boyfriend's body language when we're talking about certain things. Now, in this instance, I'm talking about constantly babbling about your ex. And a man tells himself, but you know what? I'm here with you, honey. So why'd you keep on going on about your ex? Or is it that you want to hook up with your ex again? So what's the purpose, or what's the point of us being together? Now, the thing is, you are creating uncertainty in this man. You are definitely creating uncertainty in this man, and he won't take you seriously. because he feels that perhaps he's just the rebound guy, or perhaps you know, you are trying to use him to get over your ex, or you're trying to use him to make your ex jealous so that you can kind of get back something with your ex. I really don't know. And you know, sometimes, ladies, we talk about our exes. This is a different instance. Sometimes we talk about our exes because there's unresolved issues. Perhaps we broke up and there wasn't a closure, a proper closure in the relationship. Perhaps he cheated, or perhaps I cheated, or we cheated as women on our exes, and they dump us. And, you know, we are too proud to either acknowledge that we are the cause of the breakup of the relationship, or because maybe he's the one who hurt us. And the reason why we talk about it is because, and men, if you're going to watch this video, please hear me well. Sometimes when we talk to you about our exes and the things that they do, particularly if they were bad or negative things, the reason why we tell you is because in our minds, subconsciously, we are hoping that you don't get to do the same thing. What I've realized, unfortunately, is that the more you talk about your ex, you're kind of planting a seed in his head where he'll almost do the exact same thing that your ex did, if not worse. So what I've learned growing up, you know, and maturing, and I'm not perfect and I'm still learning, is that the things that happened to you in your previous relationship, you need to keep quiet about. Sit down and assess those things by yourself. Ask yourself what you could have done, if you could have done it any differently, if you could have done it any better, and then keep that to yourself. Spend time with God and ask God to make you a better person. If there's something that you believe you did or you caused that caused the breakup of that relationship. And you know, sometimes we talk about, maybe we talk about our exes because we're jealous. Perhaps the relationship didn't work out, and before you know it, he quickly moved on and he got somebody else. And then when you get a boyfriend, you constantly talk about him and that he moved on and he's got a girlfriend. But the thing is, you're forgetting that you've moved on and you've got a boyfriend, which is a really sad thing, you know, that we do as women. And sometimes we as women, another reason that what we do when we constantly talk about our exes is we talk about what our exes used to do. So, oh yeah, no, he used to do 1, 2, and 3, or he never used to do this. And I don't know whether they were subconsciously doing it because we want that to continue in the new relationship, or we want it to be better in the relationship, meaning our current guys must step up their game from what our exes were doing because that's what we got accustomed to, which is really bad because you cannot have what you had with another person when you're with a different person. Everybody is different. And you expecting him to do what your ex used to do for you is really unfair, and you're selling him short as an individual. So you need to allow him to express or display his love the best way he knows how. Using your ex as a template for your current to work on, ladies, it's just not going to work. It's not going to fly when you're constantly talking, you're constantly babbling. I have seen men and I've heard men constantly complain that every time they're with their girlfriends, they get really pissed off when their girlfriends keep talking about their exes, because they really feel, but if then what's the point of us having a relationship? Then why are we together if you're always talking about your ex? Then you might as well go back to your ex. So that is reason number one as to how we contribute to men not committing to us in relationships, is we constantly talk about our exes. Ladies, it's a no. This is a no. It's a no. Don't talk about your ex. Number two is being ungrateful. And as I said in the previous video, I did talk about men also being ungrateful, or, you know, showing signs of ingratitude. That's what makes them not commit when they feel that they're being taken for granted. And ladies, what we do is we are ungrateful sometimes when we are in relationships. And by this, I mean, you know, we want guys. It's crazy because it almost feels as if we'll be very satisfied if a guy walks on his head and then be like, yes, you're doing something absolutely outstanding, brilliant, that's different from what my ex was doing, which is ludicrous. So when you're always ungrateful, if he does something for you, like I've always said, and I said in the previous video, ladies, if your man does something for you, appreciate him, be grateful, applaud the man for what he has done for you. It doesn't remove anything from you. And this goes both ways. Guys, even if your ladies do something for you, even if it's just cooking a meal, because sometimes guys take it for granted that yes, this is what ladies are supposed to do. They're supposed to be they're supposed to be cooks, they're supposed to be cleans, they're supposed to be freaks in the bed, that kind of stuff. So even if it's something that the lady is accustomed to doing, that doesn't exempt you from expressing gratitude. Be thankful to her. Ladies, be thankful to your men. Show gratitude. Babe, thank you for doing my laundry. Babe, thank you for ironing. Babe, thank you for making the bed. Babe, thank you for whatever it is that he's done. Even if he does it all the time, one thing you need to learn in relationships, is to learn to appreciate each other in the relationship. That way it grows, because none of you know that you're not taking each other for granted. Being quiet and just knowing stroke expecting somebody to do something all the time, to me, is a sense of ingratitude to a certain extent, because you're taking it for granted that because the person does it all the time, they'll be happy doing it all the time without complaining. Even if they say you don't have to thank me, don't thank them for that particular thing, thank them for something else. I promise you, when that person's on their own, they will remember how much you thank them and how much you appreciate them for doing the certain things that they do for you. And they'll want to do more. And that's what it is about relationships. It's being selfless, not selfish. So when you're selfless, you are giving without expecting. But the beauty of being appreciated when you are giving something without expecting is just something that's amazing. It's a beautiful feeling to know that your partner values you and actually really appreciates you in that relationship. So don't be an ingrate in your relationship. Don't be an ingrate. Don't be an ingrate. Right. Then number 3 is constant comparisons. Constant comparisons also falls in hand with number 1, which is constantly talking about your ex, because obviously you would be sometimes you're talking about your ex, or sometimes you're talking to your current about somebody else's boyfriend. We do that a lot, ladies. Let's not even lie. And I know men will be like, yeah, Francis, tell her. Yeah, whatever. I'm telling them. I'm telling them. So constantly comparing your guy to your ex or some other guy is something guys don't like. Not only are you killing this man's ego, but you're making him feel less of a man in terms of his presence in that relationship. Now, here's a fact, lady. Not every man is romantic. This is an example. Some ladies just expect the man to buy flowers every day. If he doesn't buy flowers every day, then he must buy them every week. Maybe your guy is not the romantic kind. Maybe your guy is just the guy that just is very happy to see your face, and he just admires your beauty. And some men are not really expressive of their emotions. They just love you. And here's a typical example of very okay, I have to use my words very carefully. Very carefully. Okay, very traditional men. Most traditional men will not constantly tell you or profess their dying love for you, because you'll get the typical answer, which is, I wouldn't be here or I wouldn't be with you if I didn't love you type response, which is something I really don't like hearing, even I as a female. But I've gotten to the realization that yes, if he wasn't with me, honestly, then he wouldn't love me. But that doesn't mean that I don't want him to tell me that he loves me, that he appreciates me and stuff like that. Now, this is us as a bunch of women sitting at a table, and we're all talking about our boyfriends, and I'm telling you, oh my God, my boyfriend took me to Paris last week. Or, oh my God, my boyfriend bought me flowers last week. Or, oh my God, my boyfriend took me to this amazing place for my birthday, etc., etc., etc. Now, first of all, not all guys' pockets are the same. So if you're dating a guy whose income is probably less than your ex, or maybe it's even more, but they don't have a romantic streak in them, and romance doesn't necessarily require you purchasing gifts. You could be romantic in rubbing feet. You could be romantic in cooking for your partner. You could be romantic in sharing house chores and stuff like that. People have got different definitions of romance. Let me just put that disclaimer. So now you as ladies, you're thinking, so you were sitting at the table, we're having drinks as girls, and then you get there, you get home and you think, but my guy doesn't do this for me. Next thing, when your boyfriend comes in, you get on him. Yeah, but babe, how come you don't buy me flowers every day or every week? And then he's like, okay, first of all, I didn't even really know that you like flowers, because maybe you haven't even communicated that you like flowers. Accept the fact that you didn't tell him that you like flowers as if you haven't. And then let him absorb the realization that you like flowers, and then see how he acts on it. Don't get into a point where you're now saying, yeah, because so and so buys flowers for his girlfriend every day and stuff like that. And this is just a little example. Like I said, if you are a romantic, ladies, why don't you be the romantic person? Bring the romance, into the relationship. And I promise you, with time, your man will realize that these are the things that you like, and he will begin to emulate what it is that you like and what you do. And that's how people learn. Not everybody, maybe your guy's ex also didn't, like flowers, or she wasn't the romantic kind, so he's not used to that. When we get into a relationship, we're both bringing certain aspects of ourselves that we obviously don't know about that the other person doesn't know. So you've got to give yourself time, or give each other time, to learn each other. If it's been a year into the relationship, honestly, the guy should have picked up on certain things that you like. Sometimes some guys are oblivious. Be patient with the guy. Bring the romantic side. Now, here's another classic one. How come you don't like, maybe your guy's like the average type of dresser? Ne? Then you're like, how come you don't like wearing 1, 2, and 3? Because so and so's boyfriend likes buying 1, 2, 3, and he wears 1, 2, 3. Number one, ladies, did you consider that your guy is not a fashionista? Like, he's not moved by fashion trends. As far as he's concerned, as long as he's got a t-shirt and he's got pants on and a pair of shoes and his hair is combed, he's decent. Then there are guys who really go all out. Like, they go for the mani-pedis, they go for, the hair grooming and the treatments and stuff like that. That's different. That's different. That's a different type of swag. Not all guys are like that. Not all guys are the same. So you can't compare, ladies, your friends' boyfriends to your current, or you can't compare your ex sense of style to your currents, because these are different men altogether. They've got different desires, they've got different purposes, they've got different passions, they've got different hobbies. So you can't expect him to do what your ex was doing. Now, constantly comparing him to somebody, maybe a fashion icon, that person may have enough money to buy all those kinds of expensive things. We're living in the real world now. Some of us ladies, the way we go on, and it's so sad, because sometimes you see brothers really breaking the bank to try and make their partners happy, which for me is heartbreaking, because he's putting himself in a financial rut, which will not only affect him, but it'll eventually affect you as a lady. But then sometimes some ladies are so greedy to the point that when they see that the guy's hit a dip, they bounce, they leave, they dump the guy, and this guy's left, hung and dry, thinking, okay, now where do I pick up myself from? Where do I start? How do I sort out this debt? And he did all of that just to make you happy. And like I said in the previous video, men are very happy doing things for their partner because they want to see you smile. It makes them feel like men. It makes them feel like they've provided for you. It makes them feel like they've really satisfied your desires and your needs. So, ladies, it's just that I've really seen a lot of women who are just insane, and they completely alter their boyfriend's appearance to almost look like their exes. And then when you meet the guy, when he wasn't like that before, and then you meet the newly transformed person, and you can see he's really not in his element with this new persona or this new vibe he's just been given, you begin to connect the dots as an outsider, and you're like, but he kind of looks like so and so. Ladies, please don't do that to these guys. This is things that we do that make these guys not commit to us, because now he says, okay, look, it looks like this girl is still fixated on her past, on her ex, or just fixated to a lifestyle that I can't afford, and I can't give it. Even though I love this woman, I can't give her what she wants, clearly. And it's not going to make the relationship work. Therefore, ladies, is not going to commit, because you're constantly comparing this man, whether it's in his profession, whether it's in his his sense of style, whether it's in the way he speaks, because the list can go on and on and on. Why don't you talk like this? Why don't you act like this? Why don't you behave like this? And this is a grown ass man. Like, he is a grown man. Constantly comparing your ex is just like, ladies, it's a no. It's not something that you should be doing, or not even to your ex necessarily. Just comparing him to anybody. He is his own person. Allow him to develop as his own person. Just be there for him to make him a better version of what he already is. Sometimes, it's especially if you've tried, maybe you don't like his fashion sense. Then you're like, babe, you'd actually look good if you were to try this, and this ensemble. Then you put this ensemble together and you put it on him, and then he actually likes it, and you will see it in his face where you're like, babe, I actually think I like this. Maybe the next time I go out and buy clothes, you can accompany me, and then you can help me choose a different style, and that's how you can up his but do it from a position of love. Don't do it from a position of comparison that, yeah, because I am like this, he should be like this. I have a standard to maintain. So the man that I'm with must also have that same standard. If not, then honey, he's not for me. He may just be the person for you. He just didn't come in the right package. And the reason why God may have brought this man to you is for you to also finesse him. Like I say, do it from a position of love. Don't do it from a position of wanting your person or your man to be the person that he isn't, or to be the man that he isn't. That is point number 3. Point number 4 is constantly expecting your man to stop hanging out with his friends. There was a day, I was sitting down watching the Braxtons. And I was watching Tamar. Tamar's got a new Nigerian boyfriend, Adefaso. Forgive me if I get the name wrong. I think he was having a guy's time with with her sister's boyfriends or sister's husbands as well. So the guys were just hanging out together. I don't know what the guys were talking about. Next thing, Tamar bursts into the door and she just calls this guy out. And sheepishly the man follows him out. And then she said, "What are you talking about? What were you?" And I'm thinking, woman. Now, this is the African side of us. We don't do that. That's number one. And I'm not going to just, canvas it to only Africans. Hey, let me use my words really wisely. But if you're a mature woman, you'd be very comfortable and you'd be very secure with the man that you've chosen, because you have used your instinct in picking the right partner for yourself. So you should be able to trust him enough to use wisdom and discretion whenever he's out with whoever he's with. Calling your man to order and embarrassing him like that. First of all, the man was summoned out like he was a toddler. I really didn't appreciate that, especially for that guy. I really didn't. Maybe some men are attracted to domineering women. I don't know. Maybe that's his cup of tea. I don't know. Relationships are different. Speaking of relationships being different, when I was talking about the part of constantly comparing your ex, or constantly comparing, or constantly talking about your ex in those 2 pointers, I forgot to say, you know what it's like when I was talking about guys not being romantic and buying flowers all the time. You as a lady, how are you guaranteed that guy, as he's buying flowers for his girlfriend or his wife, actually in this case I will say girlfriend because we're looking for a commitment here, how are you guaranteed that he didn't offend his girlfriend and now he is begging for forgiveness, or he's trying to atone for what he did, and he is really stepping up his game by buying flowers? You don't know the purpose of people doing the things that they do. That's why I said to you in previous videos, never envy a relationship, because you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. This guy can be buying flowers because maybe he beat this girl and she never told you, or he abused her in some kind of way and she never said anything. So he's trying to make up for the pain that he caused in the relationship. So be very careful, ladies, when you go comparing. Don't. Be very grateful and be very happy and content is the word with what it is that God has given you, if at all you believe that it's God that has given you that man. Right, so coming back to the Tamar issue, if you are really mature and you are confident in who you are, you will not find the need to be controlling and domineering over your man. And everybody is allowed individuality. When you were born from your mother's womb, you came out on your own. That individual that is in me is a personality that God has carved. Let's leave all the other external influences, which is probably and hereditary influences. That man has a personality. That man has a brain. That man has emotions. That man has intelligence. If you as a mature woman know that you have picked the right guy and you're confident in this person, you have no right to constantly be dictating to a grown man what, where, and why, and who he should be communicating with. It's unladylike. It's really unladylike. And when I was talking about individuality, even you as a lady, you have times when you want to be with your girls and you don't want a guy, your man, calling you. So when are you going to come home? I'm hungry. When are you going to come? I miss you. When are you going to come? Maybe too many men are looking at you and stuff like that. No, you need time out. Time out is necessary because it allows you space from your partner. It allows you a chance to miss each other. And then when you see each other, it's like you've been away from each other for so long. So you're building that romance, you're building that comfort, you're building that suspense, that spice in the relationship that's required for you guys to have a unique connection. Now, when you take that alone time from him, you are making this man feel like he's a small boy and he's being controlled, like you're his mother. He is not your father either to be dictating to you, how to go out and stuff like that. And I use that statement very carefully because sometimes your guy cares for you and you may be around negative company and he's telling you, I don't like it when you hang around a so and so because that person is not good for you in terms of the negative influence and impact that they may have on your life. That's a different case. Now, in this case, if this man wants to be with his friends, ladies, please can you allow your man his boy time? Men need their boy time. And sometimes some women do this because they want to show their girls that, yeah, I'm the one. I put him in check. He doesn't do anything without me type of thing. First of all, who are you to put a grown man in check? If he doesn't know how to put himself in check at a specific age, then what you have is a grown boy problem. And I don't envy you on that, especially if that's what you have. So ladies, be very carefully. It's only an insecure woman who would do that when you check on your man. I remember the movie. I don't know which one it was, but I'm inclined to think it's Why Did I Get Married To, when Sheila was talking to her girlfriends over a drink. And she was talking about how much she knows Marcus's heartbeat, how much she knows the kilometers it is from his home to the office, to the gym, to wherever. And if he takes a detour, then she knows exactly where he's gone because it takes etc. to go to his baby mama's house. Oh, best believe that just because some of these movie characters act like this, that doesn't mean that there's some real Sheilas out there. They are there. They're there. And it's ludicrous. You really must be insecure as a woman if you're going to go that far. Really, as listening to your man's heartbeat and then counting it on a watch. It's just insane. It's ludicrous. So ladies, please, that's what you don't want. You don't want to be doing that because that's a contributing factor that we do that makes men not commit to us when we don't allow these guys to have their boy time. Just the same way you need your girl time. Right. Point number 5, moving along, is holding never-ending grudges and offenses. Ladies, we are so good at that. I am not exempt from that. I am not even going to make myself holier than thou. I am not exempt from that. And we are human and we make mistakes. And the one thing we do as women, myself included, is constantly bringing up past offenses. And it's different. It's different if the deed is constantly repeated. Now we're talking about maybe a disrespect issue or an infidelity issue, which in my books, infidelity requires a complete dissolution of a relationship. Now, it's growing up and looking back and learning from past mistakes. Maturity is dealing with an actual issue and not including past events or past issues. That is if those issues were not resolved. Or rather, that is if they were resolved. If they weren't resolved, that's different. But if they weren't resolved, whatever issue happened or occurred at that particular time, you're having your difference or your heated conversation. Deal with that particular issue. Don't bring up other unresolved issues into this current issue because you're just making a snowball effect and it's absolutely unnecessary. On a different day, perhaps that's when you can say, babe, there's something I need to talk about with you. And if you don't mind, it's about an issue that I feel is unresolved. and then allow him to respond. Sometimes as women, we also like to talk and we don't give these brothers a chance to respond. And as soon as they respond, bam, we're on them. Yeah, that's what you said. And we're not giving him time. So we listen to respond. We don't listen to hear and to understand. There's a very big difference. So, I've also learned, because I used to do that sometimes, and I used to do that, and I got to understand why I did that. I did that because the issues that were unresolved, rather the issues were unresolved, and they hurt me really badly. So when another one comes up, it feels like it's a continuation of past issues, even though they're kind of different in terms of incidents. Then I would catapult on this particular heated one that provoked this discussion, and I will bring everything into the current conversation, and it would be a massive blowout of an argument. And you're like, why are you bringing that up? That's so unnecessary. But that happened 1, 2, 3 times ago. Are you serious? You're talking about this? That's the issue. When you have a past grudge or an offense, deal with it then and completely resolve it. Ladies, it's difficult. We're emotional beings. But as a sister, I will advise you, when you have that issue, deal with it, discuss it, close it. Close it for good. Don't even bury it. Pour acid, let it completely disappear. Don't bring it up again. Guys don't like it when you're constantly, because in their ears, they're hearing you're a failure, you're a failure, you're a failure. And it's not a nice thing to constantly rub in somebody's face. So when you have that current issue, deal with that current issue and also resolve it and leave it alone. It becomes an issue when you are not able to resolve an issue. And you may require a third person's influence, a third person's opinion, but you must be very careful of the third person you're bringing into the relationship or into that discussion that you're having, because you want a person that will come with a completely unbiased opinion. You can't bring a friend, you can't bring a family member, because those ones are inclined to take sides with you. And obviously at some point that's what you're kind of looking for, somebody to take your side so that they can bash your man for you, and that's not what you want to do. No. So have a third party. It could be a pastor, it could be I don't know, a psychologist, just a person that you believe you can trust with the information that you're giving them, and they won't use it against you, and they can give you a completely unbiased opinion as to how to resolve the issue that you people are having. So that's number 5, holding never-ending grudges. And that's something I have learned. I have learned to not do that. And I have learned that if I have an issue that my partner has done that is probably affected me or it's offended me, then I deal with it now, and that's it. And whenever something else happens, it's something else. It's not this. It's different, like I said earlier on, if it's a repeated habit or a repeated offense. That's completely different. Then number 6, past hurts. As guys have heard past hurts, which I did mention earlier, or rather in my previous video, we too as women, we have our past hurts, and this makes you live in doubt and constantly question or interrogate your partner's whereabouts because you've been hurt before. Ladies, if a man has never given you reason to doubt him, let sleeping dogs lie. Let them lie. Men can only put up with so much. So past hurts is also another reason why brothers won't commit. And which also goes hand in hand with the pointer of constantly talking about your ex and constantly comparing. Now, if you've been hurt, the sad reality in life is a lot of people are very afraid to be alone and to be very single. Now, to be single is to be alone. It does not mean you're lonely. There's a very big difference between being alone and being lonely. Now, it's important that when you've been hurt, like I am doing now, and I'm seeing the importance of it, when you've been hurt, it's important for you to take time alone and to process everything that has happened. And to help you do this, actually, ladies, there's a pastor that I always talk about, his Pastor R.C. Blake's. And there's a video, I hope I can find it and I can put it in the description box below. But if not, then please visit his channel. It's R.C. Blake's Jr. And the video talks about letting your heart break. And it's a very scary process. It's a very scary process, but it is so worth it, because not only will you discover yourself, not only will you learn about yourself, but you also allow God to come into your life and work on you as an individual, which is extremely important. It's important for you ladies to take time alone. It's important for you to learn yourself. It's important for you to reflect on the things that have happened to you, that have happened in your life, how they've impacted you, how they've made you a better person, how they've made you a worse person. If it's made you worse, also ask your family, ask friends how you've changed, and really deal with those pains. And I promise you, it takes time. And most people are so afraid of being alone because they feel like they're a failure, or they feel that people will judge them, excuse me, for not having a boyfriend, or people will think that they're weird. That's why they don't have anybody in their lives. And it's on the contrary. I feel that when you're alone, you're really maturing because you're taking the time to study yourself. You're taking the time to learn yourself and to be a better version of yourself. And you can only do that when you're on your own. That's how you develop in character, you develop in personality, you develop in spirituality, you develop even in, in other things in terms of life, your personal goals, hobbies that you've always wanted to do. And those are the things that can help you get over past hurts. Now, if you are a hurt and a broken person and you get into a relationship, not only are you going to carry the pain and the baggage, you are going to carry the difficult person that you have become. And why you're difficult is because you're hurt and you've put your guard up. Putting your guard up will definitely make you impenetrable to your partner, your new partner, because as he's trying to learn you, you've got such defense walls that not even NASA can penetrate. You've got such it's not even NASA, like you're as impenetrable as Fort Knox. It's very important for you to deal with past hurts, ladies, and I'm going to do a video on past hurt, and it's going to be a very emotional type of video. And I really want, it's not only is it for ladies, but it's also for men. I really want you to understand the importance of being alone. So past hurts are also the reason why men are not going to commit to us in relationships. Then point number 7, always wanting to be in control. A lot of us like to be in control of our relationships. I don't even think control is the right word. Nobody should be in control of somebody. You are not an object and you're not an animal. There's some women who are like, oh no, you can't handle me. The question is, what are you to be handled? That's the first thing that comes to my mind. What are you that has to be handled? And we as women, we like to take control to another level. We want to dictate to our men what they should eat, what they should wear, where they should go, who they should be with, what they should say. I mean, for goodness sake, really, really, I don't think you want to have somebody, I don't think you as a woman also want to be in a relationship with the dictator who's constantly micromanaging your every move. If you've got spinach in your teeth and he's not aware, oh my God, you've got spinach in your teeth, as if he, like Trevor Noah says, as if he kills pandas for a living. I'm sorry, but just that analogy just killed me. Sometimes we even dictate to men how we think, how they should think and how they should feel. Like, excuse you, woman, really. If you're feeling something, I don't think a man should come and tell you this is how you're supposed to feel. That's like if a brother slaps you and he tells you, yeah, you should feel joy. That's a bad example. I'm really sorry, but some men really end up be abusing women, and they expect them to behave a certain way, which is just ludicrous to me, because there's only one way one can behave when they're in pain. It's to either cry or to lash out. So why would you want to be in control of somebody? Do you know how exhausting that is? And I still take it back to Sheila. It is the most exhausting thing. And at one point, I think I got like that in my past relationship. And I think my ex once told me, Francis, you really like to be in control. And I think wanting to be in control is because you're covering a gap that you don't want people on the outside to see. Now, that gap is the gap that you need to deal with. And it's different. It's case specific. Nobody can tell you what the gap is, but you know what it is that you're covering up for. That's why you want him. He's not perfect, and you want this perfect facade of a relationship to be portrayed to the world. And you're not only not being honest to yourself, you're not being honest to your partner, and you're not being honest to the relationship. And it's very important. Ladies, you must know that this man is not your child. He's not a dog, and he's not your son. This is a grown man. There is an amount of respect that you're supposed to give a man. There's certain things in relationships that we should be given control of. And number one is yourself. Control yourself first. Control how you think, control how you feel, control how you react, control how you behave, whether it's in front of your partner, whether it's in, outside. And when I say in front of your partner, I'm not taking away the fact that you should be yourself. Yes, you should be yourself, you should be vulnerable in front of your partner. But when you're with your partner in front of a third person or outsiders, watch how you behave. The way you behave at home should not be the same way you behave when you are with your partner outside, meeting other people in an outside environment. So when we have these controlling tendencies, ladies, I promise you, men don't like it. There's no man who wants to be controlled. There's no man on this earth that I know wants to be controlled. Some women feel, okay, now I was going to think of something really naughty, but no, let's stay away from that. There are guys who cut their hair or cut their beard a certain way or dress a certain way because not only are they comfortable with it, but it makes their partner happy. That's different. You know how you can, touching on my previous point, you know how you can say to your partner, babe, I like it when you cut your hair this way, or I like it when you shave your beard in a specific design. It makes you look so in a certain way. And not necessarily comparing him to a specific person, but just tell him that it makes him look more sexy, more appealing. That's different. And then he will cut. That's not control. That is really not control. There is a difference. That's like if he cuts his hair in a specific way and you're like, why did you cut your hair like that? Don't you know you look like this? That's so horrible. Go back and go and cut it again. Again, he's not your son. He's not your son, ladies. Please don't talk to these men like that. Respect your partners. We're not talking about marriage now, but respect your partners. It's nice when a man wants to make his woman happy. When she asks for something, babe, I like it when you cut your hair this way. Please, can you do it this way? And he does it for you. And then you're like, oh, stars. That's different. And it's nice, when you guys get together and you smile and, he does something for you that makes you happy. Right. That is number 7, always wanting to be in control. Number 8 is a woman displaying signs of non-submission. Now, this is a very interesting topic because, ladies, when a man is looking for a wife, to be honest with you, when a man looks for a wife, he's going to test you and he's not going to tell you. That's like really dumb, though. It's the same way when we were in school and, we'd get into the classroom and the teachers just drops a bomb. It's like, okay, test day. And we're like, what? We didn't prepare. That's not her fault or that's not his fault. You should have been studying all along. In this case, there's certain ways that a man is going to test you. And I can't tell you all of them. And I can't tell you, it's case specific. Because every man wants a specific thing from his woman, whatever woman that it is that he decides he wants as a wife. Now, you can't expect him to tell you, yeah, I'm going to do this to you because I want to see if you're a wife material, if you can handle it. Obviously, you're going to put up a facade and, do everything that is expected of you as a wife. I mean, really, ladies, a man desires a woman who submits. Submission is a whole other conversation. But this is obviously because we want a man to commit to us to a level of a marriage. So he's going to test. He's going to ask you things. He may be asking you things that may be out of your comfort zone. Babe, please can you wash my shirt collars with your hand and not in the machine? And it's not that the machine doesn't really do a good job, but he may be testing what your submission skills are like. Like if he asks you something, is he able to trust you enough to do it? And to be happy doing it? Or are you going to be the kind to just throw, a tantrum and say, I'm not going to do that? Because when you respond like that, you are giving him signs of what he's going to expect when he decides to put a ring on your finger. So be very careful. Sometimes it also comes up with, it's related with your upbringing, ladies. If there's certain things that you were not taught by your mom or your dad, it's going to be very difficult to display those things, especially in your relationship, because you haven't had a mentor, or you haven't had somebody to emulate or to look up to behave or to have been taught some of these things. But this is where it's important, ladies, to understand your partner. Know when your partner has a serious tone and it's not a joke. Know when your partner wants something from you and it's a non-negotiable or it's a deal breaker. Your man is going to test you in the dating phase. He wants to know if you're going to respect him. That's another thing with submission. Submission is a form of respect. Submission has got nothing to do with your equality with him as a human being. No. And so you are unequal in terms of your functionality as woman and man, but you are equal in the eyes of God as human beings. There's a very big difference. So when he tests you, he wants to see your respect. And you as a woman need to give a man respect. I think I covered this in a previous video. It is absolutely important that you respect your husband, because with respect comes submission. You cannot submit to something you don't respect. That's a whole conversation completely separate from this one. Or sometimes it's very simple. Sometimes your guy can just say to you, today you're not going out with your friends. But babe, why? Today's the day I got it. No, I don't want you to go out with your friends. I actually want to be with you today. Oh, but babe, yes, you may throw a tantrum, but you know what? Sometimes just keep quiet and say, you know what, babe, okay, it's fine. I won't go. Call your friends and tell them, you know what, guys, I'm not going to be able to make it today. I think I'm going to stay in. Whatever excuse you make up is entirely up to you. Because another thing is, us as women, if we now say, no, my husband says I mustn't go out, you are giving an impression that your husband is a kind of dictator. Be wise, ladies. Be very wise in terms of how you relate a message to your friends, because now your friends are going to see your husband or your boyfriend in a specific way, or see him as a control person or a domineering person, and they're going to rub it in your face. Like, do you want to be with a man who's always controlling you, who's always telling you what you should and you shouldn't do? That's completely... Be wise. Practice wisdom. So a man will test you. If he says don't go out with your friends, and you can see that he's a bit serious, so he's got a bit of a serious tone, respect him and say, yes, it's okay. I won't go out today. And I promise you, ladies, you don't lose anything by not going out with your girlfriends. I mean, you can always catch up on another day. He may just want to see, okay, if I were to tell this woman when she's now my wife that I don't want her to go out, will she listen to me? Will she respect me when I ask her to do something? So ladies, like I said in the beginning, he's not going to test you, so don't be naive, but have wisdom and discernment to understand his actions. Don't pretend. It will backfire. Don't pretend. Yeah, I'm just having a lot of... a lot of women pretend. They really pretend, and they pretend because they want a ring on it. If it's not in your nature, it's going to come out. And it will come out at the most ungodly time, in front of the most respectable people. Your ratchetness will come out. Your pretense will bloom. Because it's who you are. Be very careful about pretending. Always be yourself. Authenticity is the best. Right. Point number 9. So that was number 8. A woman displaying signs of non-submission is a contributing factor to men not committing to us. Number 9 is pretense. Right. Now we're going to get into it. Now, this is a classic reason for men to not commit to the stage of marriage. Now, a lot of us as sisters pretend because time has gone and we feel we need to do anything and everything to get married. The truth is, pretense is very temporary. And I think I posted this on my Facebook page, that pretense is very temporary. We wear our best version of ourselves to get into a relationship. Then once we're in it, we hold the act for a while. But because it's an act, the show must come to an end. The show must come to an end. You begin to display your true self, which is something the guy would not have gone for had he seen it the first time. And I think most of us as women know that there's certain attributes that we have that if we display them, this man is going to bolt. Usain won't have anything on this man. So giving examples of wifiness, you being a very decent, well-mannered girl, you know, very respectful and stuff like that. Then once he puts a ring on it, a year or two down the line, you sit back, you become untidy, you become ratchet, you become disrespectful, you become a monster. You become a monster. And you know, I promise you, I've heard a lot of brothers really confess that, because when we see these women behave in this certain way, we'll obviously ask the brothers, but bruh, this chick of yours, and most of the time the guys are like, she wasn't like this when we met. And then you know it was an act, it was pretense. Ladies, please don't pretend. There is somebody for you, the way you are. Whether you're ratchet, whether you're classy, it doesn't matter. There is somebody's DNA specifically wired just for you. So there's no need for you to put on an act. There's no need for you to display certain behaviors, especially when they're not in your nature. They're not in your character to do that. That falseness will fall away, and your true self will come out, and he's going to see it. And I promise you, it most times it's a shock to these brothers, because they're used to the yes sir, thank you, would you like a plate? And then you serve the plate, you know, you serve your dinner on a tray versus black women, or you serve it on the dining table, and you know, you give, is there anything else that you would like? Would you like some more? You stand up, you go, because you're waiting for the ring. By the time the ring comes and the man still wants more food, you'll be telling him, you know where the kitchen is, go and get it yourself. And he'll be like, I didn't know you to be like that. Not that he'll say it, but you can see this shock, as in, then you're like, don't even pretend, don't even act shocked. You've got 2 legs and 2 hands. Go and use go and use them. The submission has flown out the window. But at the beginning, you're like, would you like some more? What else can I do for you? Are you happy? Can I plump up your pillow? I'm laughing, but it's so sad, because a lot of us as chicks, we pretend. We do pretend just to get the ring on it. Right, let's move on to number 10, and we're almost close to an end. Number 10 says, negative influence of friends can make a brother not commit to us. Now, best believe, ladies, you best believe it. Your man watches your friends. Your man watches your relationship with your friends. Your man watches your interaction with your friends. Your man watches the influence your friends have over you, and vice versa. Vice versa. And if you're the kind that tells their friends everything, your man will pick it up. He will have a huge problem with you if you're the kind of chick that tells her friends everything. Every relationship must, and this point I emphasize, every relationship must maintain a degree of privacy and secrecy. It is important to hold the integrity of your relationship sacred. It's not anything and everything. Some ladies will go on and tell even their bedroom secrets. It is insane. Nobody really needs to know, or your girlfriends don't need to know how many inches your man has. It's unnecessary. And I promise you, there are some girls, you can tell a girlfriend this. Some girls are really vicious. You know, women can be vicious and they can be desperate. Because as you're telling her all your fantasies that you enact in the bedroom between you and your partner, as you're telling her this, she has visions in her mind, but perhaps she's not getting it from her man. And she's thinking, you know what, I actually think I should try Francis' man, because she looks like she's getting it and she can't be the only one enjoying it. Had you kept your mouth shut, you would be the only one enjoying it, because there is so many stories that we have heard all over the world about a lot of women who have been betrayed by their best friends. And the reason is because you couldn't keep your mouth shut. Woman, keep your mouth shut. You know, I don't know, ladies, if you've ever had a conversation with your man, right? And then he just slips out of your mouth and like, yeah, even Matilda says she doesn't like it. Then you'll be like, oh, so Matilda knows about this. And Matilda's just a name. I mean, I'm just using for example purposes. Please, I don't know Matilda. Then you're like, oh, so Matilda knows. Then you're like, yeah. Then you're like, in your mind, you're like, oh, crap. I think I've told him that I've already told her. Now to him, he may simply calmly say to you, but why do you tell your friends? But I promise you that calm voice is a very, don't even get me wrong and don't even get it twisted. That calm tone is a very disappointed tone. And it's going to make him really doubt telling you anything the next time. And I've known a lot of brothers who keep a lot of secrets from their chicks because they don't trust their chicks. Babes, women, listen. It is important for your partner to see you as a vault, to maintain his privacy, to maintain his dignity, preserve it. It's not everything. My man does this. Oh, my man doesn't do this. Why would you even go out displaying your man's flaws like that? And I'm not exempt from it. And truth be told, I feel, and this is not a justification, but I feel that I used to talk about his weaknesses because I was looking for advice as to how I can help fix it. But it's not something that I could fix. It's something that he needed to fix or God needed to fix in him. So I was trying to get some kind of outside influence. There's a very big difference. A man wants a woman that can be his vault with his secrets. Don't be like Delilah now. When he tells you secrets, you throw them back at him and you finish and annihilate that man. In short, you eviscerate that man with his secrets. That is the most... It's the lowest thing you could possibly do as a human being, especially to your partner. You can't do that. And you don't stand anything by belittling your partner and, using their vulnerabilities or their weaknesses against them. You wouldn't want your vulnerabilities thrown back at you. You wouldn't want that. So ladies, please be very careful when you hang around your friends and you tell them certain things, because sometimes even your friends, say for instance, you're having an argument with your man and you run and you're going to tell your girlfriend. When your girlfriend now meets your man, she may throw a one-liner to your man and say, yeah, that's how you were cheating on, or that's how you beat her up the other day in the kitchen and you threw on the floor. Like to the point that you're so descriptive and your friend is so descriptive and so graphic as to the incident that happened. And he's shocked. That's a different thing. Or you'll say, yeah, that's how you got fired from your office because you were doing 1, 2, 3. Every man wants a woman that he knows he can trust. That man is going to build a future, is intending on building a future with you. That man is intending on having a best friend. That man is intending on having you as the mother of his children. That man is intending on having you as his wife, as his friend, as his lover, as his confidant. And if you, as in your girlfriend stage, are exhibiting signs of not being a trooper in terms of you not showing yourself as a worthy partner, he is not going to commit to you. He is not going to commit to you. And the thing is, ladies, when we go around, and this, I'm sure you've heard this many times, but when you go and you tell your friends only the bad things and not the good things, by the time you and your partner make up, you don't necessarily go back sometimes and tell your friends, or even if you do, your friends are still going to view your partner in the same negative light that you painted during the time you were having your turmoil in your relationship. And unfortunately, friends have a tendency to flash those things back in your face. Were you to have another argument, they will throw it back in your face and they're going to paint him as a very bad guy. But you're the one who sleeps next to him every night. You're the one who talks to him on a daily basis. And you're the one who knows his weaknesses and knows where he tries to atone for the mistakes that he's made. He's atoning to you. He's not atoning to your friends. Your friends are not there when he's doing this for you and with you. This is why you must be very careful. So a woman who's got a very negative influence from her friends, I promise you, your man won't commit to you because he feels that it's your friends that are going to dictate to you how you should run your relationship. Meanwhile, it should be you and him dictating how you both run the relationship. And finally, adding to that point, remember, ladies, not every friend is actually happy that you're in a relationship. And especially if it's a happy one, not every friend is happy. So it's not every friend that you tell everything. It's not, because your friend may also not be having a good time in her relationship, and she may be just simply jealous of you. And when you tell her you're going through a bad time, she may be really happy, even though she's like, oh, my friend, shame, I'm so sorry, really? Oh, but in her spirit, she's like, yes, who does she think she is? She thinks she's the only one who can have a perfect relationship. Another thing is, if you're a party freak as a chick, hey, guys don't really like that. At some time you must tone it down, ladies. It's not every time that you'll be on the streets having fun. No. There's a time for that. have that time and finish with that time. Now it's a time to grow, have a family, have a husband, have a relationship, build an empire, build a home for your with your husband and your children, etc. So ladies, wisdom is key. And finally, just not knowing that you actually have a good man will make a man not commit to you. Because some women, some of us, let's just be honest, we've got really good men, but we never tell our friends that, oh, he's such a good man. You know, sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. And also be careful about always talking about how good your man is. Sometimes you may come across like you're covering up for something that is really bad going on in the home, or sometimes it may appear that you're gloating over about your relationship. So be very wise as to how you talk about how good your man is. When you hear other people's stories and other people's problems and challenges in their relationships, and you know you're not going through those, evaluate your relationship and say, you know, my relationship is not that bad. And I'm actually okay with it the way it is. I don't want to complicate it. I don't want to make it worse. And I don't want to make it, unbearable. So let me just enjoy the time that I have with the man that God has potentially given me. And that brings us to an end of this video. It is very important, ladies, for you to know when you have a good man. Acknowledge that man. I can't say that enough. Respect that man. Love that man. Love that man. And finally, submit to him. Especially in all of these things, like it says, the Bible says, he that finds a wife finds a good thing. Meaning you have to have the wife qualities, the wife attributes. It's not something that is going to be taught to you when you're now married. It is an upbringing. It is a decision that you will make to change who you are into being a better version of yourself as a woman. Because he is finding a wife. You have the wife material, you have the wife qualities, you have the mothering tools, and that he's going to need, or that he's going to be looking for as a potential mother of his children. It's important to the ladies that don't have mothers, look for an aunt, look for an elderly woman perhaps in your church that really touches your spirit, as somebody that you may potentially connect with, for her to be a mother figure to you that can help you become a better version, or to become a better woman, to make you a potential partner for a man who's looking for a wife. It's very important. It's very important, especially if you're looking to get married. There's some women who, are not meant to get married. Marriage is not necessarily for everyone. So don't let the the notion of, you're at this age, you're supposed to be married. This. Sometimes some women really feel like, you know what, marriage is just not for me. And if that's you, then that's you. People need to respect your desires. But if you aren't looking to get married, ladies, be the best version of yourselves. Be the best version of yourself. So those are the 11 factors that I could come up with that contribute to men not committing to us in relationships. Oh, number 12. I need to mention this one. Being an absolute spendthrift. Woo! That one I have to include before I wrap up this video. I know women who just think money grows on trees. So when they meet a brother, they think, oh yeah, I need to get this, and I need to buy this, and I need to do my hair, and I need to get an outfit, and I need to do this. And you're always asking. And every time he gives you money, I promise you, you blow it like it's wind. You blow it like it's dust, gone. Sometimes a man will test you. If he gives you 500 Rand, for international purposes, maybe $50 or $100, pounds or whatever, he may test your money usage. Because there may be times when you're married and money may be tight. And he wants to know how resourceful you are with the little that you have or the much that he gives you. So if you're constantly blowing it all the time, you're also blowing your chances of really presenting yourself as a respectable woman, as a resourceful woman, as a woman that really knows how to, operate on a budget. Sometimes you can just shock a brother and tell him, no, I don't use the money actually. I just realized I didn't need it, but I still have the money. And be honest when you're saying those things. Tell him that no, I still have it, or I didn't use it, or I'm saving it for something more important. And then share with him. I promise you, he'll be really surprised. He'll be pleasantly surprised, to know that you can actually save money. So he may be comfortable to think, this woman actually, she has my best interests at heart, or she actually acknowledges that money doesn't grow on trees, and she knows how to budget money, and she knows how to use money wisely. That's a positive thing that you need to also display when you're with your man. It's not everything that he gives you that you blow next week. He's like, yeah, but you're supposed to give me some money. You're supposed to give me my allowance. I'm supposed to have some money because I can't be walking around as a fine chick without no money. Don't present yourself as because that's almost like gold digging. Like you're only looking for the money from him. You're not looking for him. You are looking for a husband. And a husband is looking for a wife. So both parties need to portray themselves as potentials so that they can find each other and build a beautiful relationship with God as the focal point. And only God, ladies, can help you become the best version of who you can possibly be. No other person. It's God and yourself. So you have to be self-driven to want this, and you need to be obedient enough to listen to God. And when he gives you an instruction, to obey him when he tells you this is what you should do in terms of you wanting to look for a partner, or in terms of you getting yourself ready for a partner coming to your life. That's if you're a single person. So that brings my topic to a wrap. So that's actually 12 points. Men won't commit to you if you're a spendthrift. I promise you, they will run from you. They're like, hey, that chick blows dough like no man's business. And I will go broke with that female. Like, I will go broke. No brother wants that as a wife. No brother wants that. Yeah, so I'm really happy because I'm done with this video. Thought it would be shorter. I'd really try, guys, to make my videos shorter because my brother was complaining the other day, Francis, you need to make your videos shorter, like an hour is too long. But sometimes I feel that the content that I have is really important and I need to expand on it, because sometimes I feel maybe people won't understand where I'm coming from, and I need to just expatiate on some of the pointers that I'll be bringing across to you guys. So it's a beautiful afternoon. It's a Sunday. Is it the 1st? I don't even have I can't even tell if it's the 1st of September today. It's the 31st of August. Oh Lord, but whatever. Have a fabulous week ahead. I'll be looking forward to the next video that I'll be recording, and I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. So don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will be sure to respond to your comments. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you to those that watch my videos. I really appreciate it. And this is me signing out from Intimate Conversations with Francis O'Brien, healing one heart at a time. Be blessed and stay blessed always.